Hi, America. Hi, Facebook, family and friends. We want to give honor today with talking about you know this flag. We want to talk about this flag. It's called a key to a dream, which Martin had a dream, and we're going to talk about this because Martin Luther King's birthday is coming up in January, and this flag honors him with you know giving him the understanding of what his whole message was. That one day his children could walk hand in hand with all children in America and not be belittled or betrayed as something less than. So we want to talk about this flag in honor of Dr. King and all of the other civil rights leaders and all of the people that came before King and before the Obamas and before with the Tubmans and even in the beginning of the slave shipping, the people that were already here. We want to talk about all of those people because, and that's a long story. So we're not really going to get into that, but we're going to give you a little understanding of what this flag really represents. It's called a key to a dream. Martin had a dream that one day his children could walk hand in hand with any other children. That's what we talk about. And he gave his life for that. So we try to honor his dreams by giving him a holiday, but we need something more to tell you about the dream. We now call it dream. I have a dream, but now we have a key to the dream. So this is the most important part. Having a key is knowing that freedom is real. Freedom is obtained only when you unlock mentality, when you understand the truth nature of who you are and what Martin and Malcolm and Sojourner and all the others before them has been trying to tell you. Sometimes we got to do a little research because what we have been taught in America is really a lost history of his story, a lost history of our history planted by his story. So we want to change his story and we want to bring it back to our story and tell our story. And this is what we want to teach our children. These are the things. That's why key is important to open up our mind and find out who we are and teach our children who we are. We know the Great Pyramid. We're going to talk about this key. Skeleton keys is the beginning. The skeleton keys is the skeleton that represents the man before the cloth. And the reason I'm in this cloth, I'm not ashamed to be in this cloth. At one time, I used to think something was wrong with me or I had a problem with being in this cloth. But yet I would be exploited as an athlete or a singer and all that. And I thought that was my only natural talent because I couldn't think that I should be intelligent or anything. But when we look back at it, we built pyramids that stand to the day. You can go all around the world, and you can see the African influence all around the world. Not only in Africa, but in Americas, China, Japan, all over the world. Pyramids are there. So that show you the great influence. But somehow our history is trying to be eradicated because why? It must have a sense of value. So if you want to hide that history, the value is to who benefits from that value. The people that keeping the secrets, keeping the history hidden. So we want to bring back the truth to America and let America know that no, we're not just going to lay down and take this laying down. You know, Donald Trump said, "Make America great again," and we talked about making America great. You imagine stripping a people of nothing, of everything they ever knew about themselves, and they had to reinvent themselves. And what made America great is when you look back at it, Motown, cars, inventions, and all the things that you might want to look up in your history book and see that African Americans, peanut oil, you can go back and you can see all of the inventions that we did. And you should be proud as African in America of who you are because you reinvented yourself. You even changed the music. You don't calypso no more. We do we do hip hop, real hip hop, not the one they put on TV anymore. We invented hip hop. We invented music. We invented to change everything. So heart surgery. We were already doctors, lawyers. We already knew that. But somehow the value of our existence has been trying. They have been trying to eradicate. We no longer have to stand there and let eradicate. And there's some people that's fighting the same struggle that we're fighting. It doesn't matter, if we're right now, we need to stand together. We can't allow anyone to teach our children anymore. That's the first thing. We have to teach our children the greatness of the self. And that's why God has put a key. You remember giving a baby the little rattle keys, and the baby looked for something open, and the little baby is walking around there with a rattle set of keys, and they're walking around looking for something open. They're looking for something to open because they know keys are meant to open something. What we want them to open up is their mind, the truth about who they are, the mentality. If God put a key on your flag, He's telling you there's a doorway, you know. And when I talk about God, because I'm not a traditional, way, because God to me is not contained in a book. God is, you can't contain in a text or anything like that. God is universal because God is in the water. He's in the air. He's in the nutrition because He gave us all of that. And I'm going to show you how I can prove that, because if you stop either one of those, or if you don't do those correctly, I guarantee you'll meet God. I guarantee that. So, and then you'll tell me when you meet God, and then you tell Him, George told you, you stop. If I stop one of these, then I'm going to meet you. And then if that's what you want to do, then fine. But God is not contained in the book. So do some of your research and find out that God has always been a spirit that encompasses all, So when I look at God, God is within me. And talk about freedom of speech, and they don't want you to talk about these things because somehow history has been told by His story because it benefits another system, a system that has no value to it, even in. We want to get here because we want to tell you the story. Some of us came and changed, yes, and some of us was already here. But we want to talk about the red, white, and blue tears here that connects the Bloods, the Crips, and all of those things. But it also tells you about America. It tells you that we're all headed in the wrong direction. If all of us, as Americans, whatever you want to call it, because we take pride in this land, but we have the right to take pride in it too, as Africans in America, just as well as anybody, because we was already here. We navigated the world a long time ago, and that's proven throughout history too, that we already been. That's why you can find pyramids in any continent and anywhere. You can find hieroglyphics in any continent all over the world. We already navigated that. So we want to teach our children the truth, not a lie, because we base on one lie that you brought up in. It's another part of the story, but we don't want to get into that. But I want to tell you about a key to a dream. A key, you have two keys, a key to life, a key to a dream. Our children's dreams have been stolen. A lot of times they create music, they create song, they create dance, they create